Welcome back to another weekly weigh-in. I am a little bit nervous this week. If you remember last week, I did get down into the 170s, so I hit an entirely new decade at 179.9, which means I barely creeped into the 170s, and I am terrified that we're going to go right back into the 180s this morning because this week was a little bit nuts. But first, I have to start with a huge celebration. Her Glow Era hit 350 members this week. As I'm in there and I'm looking through the comments, people are replying. It is an actual, real, living community of women just like us on a weight loss journey. So if you are not in her Glow Era yet, you need to get in there. It's just this beautiful place for you to share exactly what's going on in your life, get the support that you need, and ask all the questions that you have. And over 300 people have downloaded the GLP-1 Starter Guide that I have in the description. It's a completely free starter guide. It's the guide I wish someone handed me when I first started these medications. And in the last 2 weeks alone, more than 300 of you have downloaded that, which means that there are so many of you that are starting this journey or thinking about this journey. And that makes me so happy, because even on the crazy wild weeks, even the weeks that we gain weight, even the weeks that we stall, it is all worth it. And this is a journey that I would not take back in a million years. So if you're thinking about it, let's go. Get on this journey. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nikki. I have been on a GLP-1 medication for over 2 years. I started with semaglutide. I switched over to tirzepatide, and I have lost over 75 pounds using GLP-1 medications. I've actually lost over 95 from my highest weight. We are getting seriously freaking close to my 100-pound down mark. And that's exciting, but this is a journey that has changed my entire life, and I want that for every single one of you. But back to this wild week. My nephew was in town this week, which meant that we were doing things every single day. That meant lots of restaurants, lots of eating out, and just a really messy week. We'll talk about all the things. We're actually going to make a smoothie this morning together because I do plan to get back on track this week and out of that almost vacation-y week that I was in last week. We'll talk about the entire week. All the things that we always talk about in this weekly weigh-in. I am having a little bit of an anxiety issue. I went off of birth control, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Just there's been a lot of things that happened this week, lots of side effects, lots of stomach issues. It was just a wild week. So I'm very curious to see what the scale is going to say. Let's go weigh in. A lot of people are concerned that I might be holding the mic while I'm weighing in. I put the mic down when I weigh in, and then I grab the mic like after the number has popped up, which means it's already done weighing. Other people want me to not wear clothes, but since I do a weigh-in with you guys, I'm going to wear clothes. I wear pretty much the exact same clothes every single week, so it's not making a difference. I make sure to put on some biker shorts and a t-shirt, and that's it. So it's not really making a difference in what I'm doing. We're out of the 170s. I kind of assumed that would happen, but I only gained 0.6 of a pound. So half a pound up from last week. After this week, that's not bad. I'm really not mad about that. Next week, we'll be back in the 170s, especially because I'm getting my shit together this week. But let's make a high protein smoothie together. A lot of people have been asking me about the protein powder that I use, and I actually just started using this, but I did ask ChatGPT for like a recommendation, and this one is supposed to be really, really good, and I got it from Costco. I've been using this one, which is like the plain. It doesn't have any flavor, but I saw this one at Costco yesterday, and it's the vanilla. I think that the vanilla will be better. We are going to do 1 scoop of this ISO Pure vanilla. I like this too because it also has BCAAs. It has 5.5 G of BCAAs. It also has electrolytes, and it also has 75 mcgs of biotin, so more biotin There's like 23 vitamins and minerals in here. This is a solid protein powder and I'm excited about it. And it has 25 grams of protein. And then we're gonna use this as our liquid. This is a Genius shot. It is the Orange Dream. I also have the Peach Rings. I don't like the Orange Dream as much on its own. So I've been using it in my smoothies so that I drink them because they are not cheap and I want to use them. And it tastes great in the smoothies. But this is going to be the liquid that I use. So this has 23 grams of protein. We've got 48 grams of protein in our smoothie. Next, I'm just putting in some frozen strawberries. I think I put too many frozen strawberries in last time. So we're gonna do maybe about half a cup. And then we have one more ingredient, Greek yogurt, and I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup. We just added 16 grams of protein. We've got 55 grams of protein here. Don't quote me on the math. Lastly, I'm gonna take a full scoop of this. This is Supreva vanilla powder. This is just a sugar alternate, but because of the Greek yogurt, it doesn't get really sweet, and I need it to be sweet because it's a smoothie that I want to drink. So I am going to use an entire scoop here. This is an amazing sugar alternate. They have a chocolate flavor as well, which is probably delicious. I need to try it next because I think it would be good in like chocolate puddings. This is needed in my smoothies because I need my smoothies to be sweet and I don't want them to taste like Greek yogurt. So this fixes it completely. I am obsessed with it. I highly recommend it. And I'm gonna link it in the pinned comment in case you wanna grab some. You can get it off of Amazon. I grabbed my phone so we could use a calculator because the Isopure is 25 grams of protein, the Genius shot is 23, and the Greek yogurt is 16. So we're looking at 64 grams of protein in this smoothie. Look at this. I also want to put some whipped cream. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is so good. It just tastes like a strawberry smoothie. Wow. I need one of my straws though. It is like perfectly smooth. Holy crap. Last time it was so chunky because I used ice. You don't need ice. The Genius shot was plenty of liquid. This is so good. It's so pretty. I am obsessed. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys value in these vlogs as well. So showing you guys like a high protein breakfast, I just think this is super valuable because I have so many people who are asking me how to add more protein into their day. And this glass, when I'm done with it, will be 64 grams of protein. So ask me how the hell am I not gonna hit my protein goal today because I don't feel like that's even possible not to. And it's delicious. Oh my goodness. All right, so with the weigh-in, I am not surprised. I'm not even really upset or bummed out about it. I went up half a pound. It's not that serious and it's not that big of a deal. And I'm not even worried about it because I saw it coming. I knew it was gonna happen because of the week that I had. I also think that I'm probably holding on to some extra water weight this week because I did have a lot of movement this week, which we're gonna talk about. I'm excited about that, but it was a crazy week. We ate out almost every single day, which is not super uncommon for me. We know that, but it was like restaurants, not just like small fast food. It was like sweets and taking him to all of the places, and it was well worth it. I was in vacation mode and I only gained half a pound on vacation. That's a win, right? So I'm not worried about it, but this week reminded me of my all or nothing mindset because I started off tracking with ChatGPT and then I ended up just like not putting anything into the Pep app. So if we look here in the Pep app, you can see that all last week doesn't have any dots. It doesn't have any colors. It's not beautiful because I did not use it. I did not put anything in the Pep app this week. It reminds me of that all or nothing mindset. Once I didn't do it 1 or 2 days, I just threw it in the towel and was like, I'm not going to do it at all this week. I will just start again on Sunday. Because I think that's kind of ingrained in me. It's ingrained in a lot of us. I think that if we don't have this perfect, amazing, beautiful week, then we're just going to start over the next week. And I definitely reverted to that this week. I will admit that because I could have tracked a couple days in the Pep app. I could have put it in there and I just didn't because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it the entire week. And so I just kind of threw the towel in this week and was like, you know what? Not going to do it, and I will start again on Sunday. And that's what I'm going to do. I am going to start again. I'm going to start tracking it again today. And I'm fully planning on being back in the 170s next week, hopefully more than 179.9, right? Or less than 179.9. But I just want you guys to know that that all or nothing mindset doesn't just go away. Like, the GLP-1 meds isn't going to help your mind. It's not going to help your mindset. It's not going to teach you to rewire everything that you've been taught or everything that you've done your entire life. That's work that you have to do on your own or with a therapist, right? But that's separate from the weight loss. And it's still very much there. For me, it just doesn't affect me as much. Like, I don't care that I didn't track all week. It's not affecting me. It's not pulling on me. It's not holding me back. Gaining half a pound really isn't, it's just really not playing a role at all. I don't care because I'm just going into the next week and there's nothing I can do about it. I also feel like I can't do anything about it. So why am I going to cry or whine or get upset about something that's done? It's a done deal. I can't take back last week. I can't make the scale say something it's not going to say. I can't pretend. So why am I going to, I'm just going to move on. It's a new week. We're done. Let's get back on track. That's all I can do, right? Let me drink some. Also, I would like to note that my husband broke one of my cups yesterday. He dropped it in the car. It comes in like a pack of a bunch, so not a big deal. But, all right. Another big factor that happened this week is somewhere around Saturday, some of you will remember a video that I made a few weeks back, probably around one of my first few videos. I talked about going back on birth control because of my PMDD symptoms and how I wanted to go back on birth control in the hopes that it was going to help with my anxiety. I started noticing a couple weeks ago that I was still having pretty severe anxiety, and actually it was worse than before because when I was on birth control, I would have anxiety pretty much like all the time, every day. I was just in this anxious, panicky mode almost every single day. When I would lay down at night, my ADHD would just like fire and I would not be able to sleep. My thoughts were racing. It was just not, I just realized it was worse. But at the same time, my gut issues were better. I didn't have any big diarrhea issues the entire time I was back on birth control. So my anxiety in my mind was amped, but my gut was better. And so I had decided that I would rather have the gut issues than the anxiety issues. I don't like anxiety. So I decided last week on Saturday that I was going to take out my birth control and use a hormonal ring that gives you the hormones literally every single day. So as soon as you take it out, that's going to stop. And it threw my hormones into a whirlwind this week, and I felt it. I had severe gut issues all week long. I had diarrhea almost every single day. It was not a fun week. And for me, it's like typically at night. So I'll have it like throughout the night, and then the day I'm fine. But then I'm exhausted. My cortisol levels are raised because I was up all night and I didn't get any sleep. And this week, so on top of literally going out and doing things every single day and having a lot of fun, I was dealing with a lot of gut issues, which ignited my stress hormones. I was getting more movement. Guys, I want to tell you what we did. So I want to tell you everything that we did this week because I did add in so much movement this week, but at the same time, my gut was in complete misery all week long because my hormones were all out of whack. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have my yearly with my gynecologist tomorrow, so I'm going to talk to them about the fact that I took it out and I don't want to be on birth control, but I'm still going to have those PMDD symptoms, so I'm going to have extreme anxiety before my period again, and I don't want that. And I need to figure out something to level out my hormones without being on birth control. I don't know. I'm kind of in this research phase. I'm going to talk to my doctor. I'm going to watch a bunch of TikTok videos, YouTube videos. I'm going to do all the research I can do to figure out how to help with my anxiety without having to go on a medication because I just don't want to be on another medication. Not to mention I can't swallow pills. I don't think there's an anxiety medication that's not a pill. So I don't think that's going to work. So I'm going to look at more natural ways that I can help. I did order some magnesium with L-theanine gummies that I'm going to start taking tonight about an hour or two before bed. I'm going to do that. because that is supposed to help with racing thoughts at night and just help me calm down and be able to go to sleep. So we'll keep you guys updated on how that's helping at nighttime, because at nighttime is the worst for me. As soon as my head hits that pillow, my heart starts racing, my head starts going in a million miles per hour. I start thinking about all of the things that I want to do and everything in there. It's just whole anxiety ridden. I just can't sleep. And I'm hoping that that will help with the nighttime anxiety. And then maybe once I can get a really nice night's sleep, that's right, yeah, the anxiety will be better throughout the day as well. I don't know. We're going to see it. But so I was dealing with all of that this week as well. And then my nephew came over Sunday night. On Monday, we went to Dave & Buster's. We played in the arcade. We ate lunch there. We essentially ate out every single day when he was here, just because I don't know, like you just get into that mindset of let's just order food because I don't know what to feed this kid. He's like a 15-year-old kid. I don't know what to feed him. I don't know what to make him. And we were out and about and doing things. So we would like eat out for lunch and then we would order DoorDash for dinner. Like that's the week I had. And I still only gained half a pound, okay? Probably the gut issues maybe helped me not eat. I didn't overeat whatsoever. Like when I would order something, I would eat very little amount. But so we ate at Dave & Buster's. I don't remember. I'm not going to tell you guys what we had every day, but as far as dinner goes, because I just don't remember. I could probably look at my DoorDash app, but we ate at Dave & Buster's. We played at Dave & Buster's, which means I am running around chasing my toddler because he doesn't know how to walk. My toddler is literally a mini me. He can't slow down. He runs everywhere. I'm having to yell, stop running the whole time, but then I'm also chasing him, walking around, playing the games with him. So got lots of movement on Monday from that. On Tuesday, we went to Elevate, which is an indoor trampoline park. Again, I'm chasing my toddler around. I'm jumping with him a little bit. I'm getting movement on Tuesday. Then on Tuesday night, I actually got my walking pad. I finally found my walking pad remote. So the reason why I wasn't using my walking pad was because when we moved, I couldn't find my remote. I had no idea where it was. So I found it finally, and I ended up walking for 30 minutes on Tuesday as well. So I got even more movement on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we went to Slick City, which is an indoor slide park, which is so cool. But if you can imagine like a water park, you have to like go up to the slides, right? You have to climb up the stairs to get to the top of the slides to go down the slide. So it's the same thing. And I went down like 6 slides, but going up was, I just know like 2 years ago, there's no way I would have been able to do it at all. Like I would have died after the first slide. There is no way I would have been able to get up those stairs. But I was able to go up, I think like 6 or 7 times. And I was exhausted. I was out of breath. I was like sweating. I posted it in my Instagram stories. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram because that's going to be more of my day-to-day life. What I'm eating, where I'm going, the things I'm doing. Like you want to be following me on Instagram if you like my content, obviously. But that was a lot of movement, like movement. And then of course we ate there. And we ate out on Tuesday as well. And then Thursday was a little bit of a slower day, but we still ate out both times. We essentially just ate twice per day. I didn't eat breakfast this week. Like I said, it was just a vacation-y week. And then Thursday night, we went to Andretti's, which is like an indoor go-karting place. Again, we were walking around the arcade because there's an arcade there, walking around, chasing my toddler, doing the go-karts. It was another just really fun activity-ridden day. And then my nephew went to my sister-in-law's house on Thursday night. So on Friday, we actually were like, we're done. We're eating at home, and we ate at home Friday all day. And then yesterday on Saturday, he flew back home yesterday, so we went to Cracker Barrel for lunch. So we ate out again yesterday, and then last night we had dinner at home. And this week we are very much pledging to ourselves that we are not going to eat out as often. I'm not saying we're not going to eat out at all, because I don't know. But the goal and the plan is to eat at home more. The goal and the plan is to have a breakfast. I'm either going to be having a smoothie like this for breakfast, or I'm going to make my protein pudding that I showed you guys how to make in last week's weigh-in vlog. So that way I'm having a very high protein breakfast. What I notice when I have a high protein breakfast is that I don't snack throughout the day. I don't have any cravings. Once I start my day off with protein, the rest of my day is so amazing. I don't overeat. I eat just the right amount. I don't overcrave. It's much more easy. It's way easier for me to make the right choices. It's just this starting my day off right with protein makes a huge difference. So if I could like offer you any kind of advice, start your day with protein. It's gonna make a huge difference. Also, yesterday I did get on the walking pad again. I walked and jogged a little bit for 30 minutes. I went more than a mile, which is amazing for me. I actually pulled my walking pad out into my living room so that I could watch Ginny and Georgia. I was finishing the last episode and I was like, I cried while I was walking because love that show. If you watch it, let me know in the comments. But the ending was heartbreaking. But I pulled it out to the living room so that way I can watch TV while I walk on my walking pad, because I think that'll make it to where I do it almost every single day. My goals for this week is to have breakfast every single day with protein. I mean, these are my 5 habits, right? To add in movement using the walking pad every single day. I may also take my weights out there and either walk on the walking pad or do some like strength building, or both. My goal is to do movement at least 3 times. You know, that's the challenge, right? But I'm going to actually try to do it more. My other goal is to make sure that I am using my Pep app this week and tracking everything in my Pep app. It's extremely important for me to have everything data logged into my Pep app. I think it's something that makes a huge difference. So if you are not using the Pep app yet, I highly recommend that you get it, try it. There is a free trial. If you use my code NIC77, you get a hefty discount if you do decide to stick with it, which most people have converted to the full Pep. You pay it once per year, so it's well worth it. You can track everything, have everything in the exact same place. It tracks your shots and literally everything. I highly recommend it. But so using ChatGPT and the Pep app to track everything this week. What are the other goals? So my weekly weigh-in, that's a given, right? We do that every week. And then the 5th one is adding protein, which I already said I'm going to do that with breakfast, but I'm also going to try my damnedest to hit 90 to 100 grams of protein every single day this week. We will see how that goes. I just think that if I really get back on track this week, then we are going to get back into the 170s next week, right? All right. I think we're done. If you have not joined Her Glow Era, join us. There are over 350 women in there. There are comments, there are replies. People are showing up every single day in there. So get in there, join our community. It is linked down below. Or if you are still in the research phase and you are just learning about these medications, I have my free GLP-1 starter guide. That is like 40 plus pages of everything you need to know to get started. And remember, I do post 3 videos every single week. So I'm going to link the other 2 videos that I posted this week in case you haven't seen them, and you can get caught up and watch those next. And then if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. Let me know how your week went, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.